Can we focus? Focus? Perfect. All right, so in this video today, we're gonna be touching down on a topic that is a little bit harder to understand, and to be totally honest with you, you might find yourself also getting a little bit frustrated trying to wrap your head around it. So I would suggest just taking like a couple of seconds to just kind of clear your mind and just prepare yourself to absorb what could potentially be very new information for you. Because in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about how everyone that you meet is just a direct reflection of who you are. Now, I know that there's probably a handful of people that are watching this video that have already come to the conclusion in their head that that absolutely cannot be the case. And if you're one of those people that are sitting there right now drawing that conclusion, you're probably going into your head right now and thinking something along the lines of, like, nah, I've just met people before and that we just have different personalities and that's why we don't get along. Well, if anything, you just passed up an absolute golden opportunity to learn more about yourself. Because when I say that everyone that you meet is a direct reflection of you, the first thing that I need you to do is sit and think of a literal mirror, like an actual mirror, the one that you probably have in your bathroom. What does a mirror do? Like, what's its purpose? It reflects. And what does it reflect back? Exactly what you're looking at. It shows you everything about your physical appearance, flaws and all. And let's be real, most human brains are completely hardwired to focus on the flaws. So what would you be doing when you meet a new person? You immediately start focusing on the flaws without even realizing it. So if you can start to wrap your head around the concept that literally no one that you meet is actually separate from you, then you'll start to understand that all of these things and people that you don't like are actually traits that lie within you. And the simple fact is that you haven't fully observed it yet, or you're purposely ignoring it and it's just more comfortable for you to just be a complete hypocrite in what you practice. As long as no one else is doing it, right? Yeah, that is self-sabotage at its fucking finest. Now let's talk about why this is important. It links directly with the power of your words. And what I'm trying to say with that is that when we meet people that we don't like, whether we say it or think it, we tend to focus on the things that we don't like the most. And we are not shy about over-speaking or overthinking about it. It's standard human nature. But remember, you're more than just human. You're a lot more than just human. You are an entire universe in a human form. Now, what you really need to understand is that your conscious state of mind is communicating 24/7 with your subconscious state of mind. The biggest difference that I've personally found between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is that the subconscious mind actually does not know anyone but you. Like, you consciously know that there are people in a room, right? But your subconscious mind literally only knows that you've stepped into that room. And our subconscious has been programmed to protect us. Right? So we've experienced trauma in life, we've gone through a bunch of bad shit, and as a result of all that bad shit that you might have gone through, we tend to unintentionally operate from a subconscious state more often than we think. If not always. So if you're someone who is constantly just thinking negatively or talking negatively about or to other people, you are doing it from a state where you think that they are outside of you. But your subconscious brain is hearing this like constantly, like as you're saying it, as you're thinking it, your subconscious brain is soaking it in. And it doesn't know that you're talking about Billy up the street. Your subconscious mind thinks you're talking about yourself. So if you find someone that you don't like and then you talk shit about them with all of your friends, your subconscious brain literally thinks that you're talking shit about yourself. There's no way around it. There's actually no way around it. That is the actual way that it works. So what's gonna happen if you spend an entire week just being a negative person towards everyone around you after not catching yourself thinking or talking the way that you do? How do you think that you're going to feel at the end of that week? I promise you that it's going to be whatever the topic has been all week. And I promise that. Like, if you're sitting here talking about someone that you just met who you can't stand every last trait of them, you will eventually grow into someone who cannot stand every last trait about themselves. It's dangerous. It is super dangerous. It almost borders on unintentional self-sabotage, and I feel like I can't even put those two words together because self-sabotage is just that. Self-fucking sabotage. Whether you've done it intentionally or not, it's your fault. It's one of my favorite sayings, isn't it? Your fault. It's your fault. Anything that goes wrong in your life, your fault. So if you're someone who's spending a continuous amount of days just being consciously negative, you're doing nothing but conditioning your subconscious brain to turn you into a negative person. You literally become the words that you speak. You manifest in the words that you speak. It's how it works. We're not gonna get into manifestation in this video just yet. It's coming, I promise, I promise. We're gonna continue with the subconscious talk. So have you ever noticed that whenever we sit down and actually think about the events of our day, it tends to happen at night, right before we're going to sleep? Well, once you fall asleep, that's when your subconscious mind is actually most active. And if you were thinking about how bad of a day or how bad of a person this person is right before you fell asleep, then it's kind of like having a meal right after you've lifted some weights, right? You're feeding your muscles after you've worked them out. It's the same thing with your brain. wrap your brain around that concept. Because if you don't, it's only a matter of time before you start becoming what you claim to despise. And that just sounds like a hypocrite to me. Who likes a hypocrite? But the biggest point that I'm actually trying to make in this video is to teach people to be more consciously aware of how often your thoughts and your words are going into the red in regards to things that you think are outside of you. Because remember, nothing is outside of you. You are separate from no one. So if you find yourself always being the one to contribute a negative comment to a conversation, or you always find yourself having a negative thought after someone talks to you, understand that you are doing nothing for your own self-concept. Absolutely nothing. It's only gonna hold you back, but the moment that you become more consciously aware of the words that you use and the thoughts that you think, then you can become more vigilant in actually changing the narrative in your brain and stomping out those negative thoughts and words, because they're not helping. Reminder, they're not helping. Now, me personally, I find that the more grateful that I am for the things that I provide for myself, by default, I become more grateful for the people that I choose to surround myself with. And that's massive. That is absolutely fucking massive. It took me like about 28 years to actually understand what being grateful truly meant. And like the definition in the dictionary, yeah, that's actually what it means. It's not that hard to say thank you if you're actually thankful for the things that you receive. Like, you know, like just say thank you. Just be grateful. Be grateful for yourself. Be grateful for the people that you choose to surround yourself with, but always start with yourself first. Because if you are more grateful for yourself, then when you show gratitude to others, it is just amplified. Like, without even trying. And people appreciate that. They really do. But look, once you get to a point in your mind where you can understand that any trait from any person that you don't like is also a trait that you share, then the lens in which you view the world is going to change. I promise that. The magic that this world has to offer will unlock. And I also promise you that. You just have to believe it. And yeah, I know this sounds like some religion nutjob thing, but like I'm not talking about religion here. I'm talking about believing in yourself. And you, yourself only. Like, you don't need to believe in anything other than yourself to get shit done. And that's another thing that I can promise you. As someone who's done it, I promise. And this isn't light advice. Like, if I'm being real, this is very heavy. And it's also advice that I highly recommend that you take. Because once you actually get your self-concept to a point where you feel invincible, you'll realize how limitless of a person you actually are. People don't realize how limitless they are. They really think that, like, their parents are holding them back. Or they really think that their job, their 9-to-5 job, is making it so they have no time to pursue anything else. And they also probably think that the only way to get money and the only way to make money is to wait for your weekly paycheck. Nope. That's all bullshit. And you can break out of that by breaking out of here. Because let's be real, 99.9 if not 100% of the shit that you go through on any given day is just created in your mind. And you're just projecting it out for the world to see. Because everything and everyone is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. So, before I close out this video, I am going to leave you with one little thing to ponder on until next week's video. And it's quite the doozy. If you don't have like a spiritual side of you, this question's gonna fuck you up. It's more of a riddle, right? Okay, so here we go. So if you're in a room with 3 other people, which makes 4 in total, understand that there's actually 4 versions of you in that room at that moment. So the question is, which version of you are you going to choose to operate from in an authentic manner? Because if I'm being real, there's only one right answer. And I really hope you choose the right one. But until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I'm new to this, you need to keep in mind. 100,000 pounds, she need the biggest eyes. I said she 10, she see you being nice. I scream fuel on my thoughts and even free in mind.